in Gatlinburg. No sleep for me in Electric as we got another game here. We are in Knoxville, Tennessee. It is so bright in this city. It almost looks like the bricks are orange. Neyland
Right.
Stadium going wild as they host number 2 Oregon, the third matchup in a row for these teams. I am Hale State. Joining me in the commentary booth is a man who will be my adversary in the third and final leg of this three-way here tonight. KU, how's it going?
Doing good. Looking forward to this matchup. These teams played week one last season as well, I think. So excited to see how it goes. I know Oregon's got a lot of new players they're working in. I think they had the number one recruiting class. So yeah, should be a good show.
Yeah, so and then Electric and Pablo, the coach of the Florida Gators, who look ever so polarizing in their 31-3 win over Miami in the first leg of the triple header. So here comes Tennessee running through the tee, rocking the smoky gray alternates, and Oregon rocking the eggshell uniforms here today. So packed out Neyland Stadium. This is what you like to see if you're a Vol fan. This is heaven for those who don the orange and white as they will receive the kickoff here. So with a boot, we are underway. Kickoff will go to the back of the end zone. They are going to take it out here, gets it to the 15 maybe, stop one short at the 14. So we will see the new and improved Nico Amalavea here. He went up in overall again, and now he is showing no excuses to not be one of the premier quarterbacks in the country this season. On
Yeah.
first down, he will throw it to the running back, and it will be
Oh.
knocked away.
Yeah, McCard ran the ball a lot last season with Sampson. He's no longer there, so they're gonna have to work in a couple new guys, and we'll see how they do it.
Yeah, and there's the handoff there. Aon Breland in on the stop. So 3rd and 8, early opportunity for Oregon to get off the field here. We shall see what they come up with here. Nico going to go 5 wide. The Tennessee spread
Yeah,
coming out
this.
early here. Nico dropping back. Quick throw, and it's picked off. Intercepted the safety. Pulled down at the 14. That's number 21 on the stop. I'm not quite sure of his name, but Oregon gets the ball in the red zone to start.
Yeah, you had man across the board there. It just the DB was waiting for that one.
There's a wide receiver screen. Can he get to the edge? Pushed out of bounds after a gain of 8. So once again, much like the Florida-Miami game, early turnover kind of silences the crowd, and the visiting offense has a golden opportunity to stamp their way into this game, as that is Daquan Dimes, a new look at quarterback for Oregon, kind of controversial as he will throw the RPO. That
Wide
will
open.
definitely get him in the end zone. McLean, what do you got? He's got 6 for us, and Oregon's on the board.
Yeah, those RPOs are tough to defend around the goal line.
So touchdown, Oregon. They take a 7-0 lead. We'll go down to Electric. The sideline is, I'm sure, is much more electric than Miami, but kind of silence there again.
Yeah, and I mean, after that touchdown, I just hear nothing but just a pin drop in this stadium, and there's a lot of people in the stadium, so that shows a lot. So see what Nico and them can do here.
Handoff
Oh, what a
speed,
burst
but
that
going
guy has.
nowhere. Peyton Lewis
Sheesh.
struggling early. Mateo Ugalele, I'm going to go with that. The senior out of California in on the stop. So, Pablo, if you are here and you can hear me on the right, as the coach of the Florida Gators, I'm sure the Tennessee sidelines are not a very pleasant place as that throw is knocked down. Crank A. Johnson in on the deflection. But what does Tennessee have to do to get back in this game?
Got to be more careful with the football and offense, and don't stray away from your game plan. Because I know it's easy to wait till this play's over. To turn it over in the first play or the first drive, and then go down and just kind of give up your game plan. But you got to stick with what you got. What you going with?
Well, they
Actually
will give up.
wasn't that actually wasn't a bad call right there. His offensive line kind of hit him right as he had it. I think that might have gone for a long gain if that guy didn't get in there.
They will give up the football here back to Oregon, ball on the 32. So, yeah, like I was saying, Daquan Dimes, quarterback change here. Dante Moore, something went wrong in off-season training, and Coach Mayhem liked what he saw of the freshman, so he gets the start here in week 1 as he's hit as he throws. Ball will luckily fall to the ground for Oregon.
Yeah, I heard he was spending too much time with the Georgia football team in the off season and developed a few
Yeah.
bad habits. So, it's
Uh-oh.
Dime's time to shine.
Well, we can't have that, as this will bring up second down for the
Nobody
Oregon
back in the middle of the
Ducks.
field there.
They're going to make him pay, throw over the middle. There's a safety there to knock it down. And now Tennessee has an opportunity to get Oregon off the field. Boo Carter making the stop for the Vols defense.
It was a really good show there by McCard. Looked like it was going to be a blitz, a lot of man coverage, and everybody dropped back.
So Vols Nation is loud here on 3rd and 10. Dimes the backfield by himself, trying to get some audibles across. I mean, the stadium's loud. It's hard to hear right now. And timeout Oregon. So the crowd forces a timeout, and Oregon will regroup and try to get into a play they like on 3rd down.
Yeah, it's not a bad decision there. If you feel like you didn't have it or couldn't get the right audible in, um, early in the first half, it's not the end of the world to use a timeout.
Yeah. So Dimes, once again, will look to the sideline here. Going to send a man in motion. That is McLean. Dimes going to drop back to throw. Looking, scrambling, pulled down. Caleb Herring, big defensive player for the Vols, makes his first tackle of the game. And 4th and 12, Oregon's going to send out the punt team now.
Yeah, Oregon's they got all those fast receivers, and they're going to send them down the field as many times as they can, and that time they had them covered.
Yeah, they do a good job at getting to the ball, though. So Tennessee will get this ball at the 34. Your first 2 drives here, Oregon, like I said, might have the most talented defense in the country. They need to get something going here, as they will run this inside zone. They love to run it, especially last year, but Peyton Lewis has not had some success so far in this game.
Yeah, I think if you're Tennessee here too, I think you might want to do a couple passes early downs here because they know the run's coming.
Well, that certainly doesn't help. Matayo Ugalele once again getting in on the sack. Loss of 13, and now another 3rd and a mile. Nico's going to have the arm strength to throw this one all the way to Memphis to get this first down. Let's see, 3rd and 21. Oregon making some shifts on defense. Tennessee 2 stacked way out left, 2 stacked way out right. Running back in the backfield, and the offensive line doesn't hold. That'll push him back 5 more yards.
I mean, they showed like 3 different coverages there. It's just getting his head almost.
Yeah, certainly toying with him here. So Nico gonna snap. He's looking deep, going one-on-one to his receiver, and not gonna land. Gonna go to the defense, and he has a return here. Gonna spin out of bounds at the 27.
Yeah, at a certain point, you're gonna have to hit a couple of those, and just unfortunate. It looked like he underthrew it just a little bit.
Yeah. So the option gonna go for 8. Tyler Swift. The depth chart read T Swift, and I know that made a certain niche of the fan base really happy to see that name on the list. But he is a very young kid, a freshman, so he's not feeling 22. Knocked away once again. So 3rd and 2 here, Oregon. Let's see what they got on 3rd and 2. Tennessee stacking the box. Crowd is getting loud once again. Dimes going to send McLean in motion here. Going to snap the ball. Dimes looking. Going to run for it. Hit as he throws. Made a late decision. Try to get that ball out. And Oregon could take a multiple possession lead with a field goal. But I don't think they agree with that. They want a touchdown. And so they're going to go for it on 4th and 2.
Yeah, he had the corner out on the guy that came in motion, and I don't know if he just didn't trust it or didn't feel like he had enough time, but it was there.
So the RPO gets out wide. Does he get the first? Yes, he does. McLean. And it will get down to the 12. Jeremiah McLean, the sophomore out of Mizzou, having a big game here early.
And I think if you're Oregon, you just keep running these RPOs until they defend it. I mean, every one he's thrown has gone for good yardage.
Handoff will go up the middle. Stopped after a gain of 5. So this is the third meeting between these teams in the league. They have split the series 1-1 last year in Eugene. Oregon was able to get the win, but the year before that, here in Knoxville, Tennessee pulled off the upset. And that was Oregon's last regular season loss, and they're trying not to repeat the past. As Swift gets in the end zone, dancing into the end zone, if you will. And Oregon's going to go up multiple scores here early. So Oregon goes up 14-0, and I will actually make a call down to the viewers of HPL because I'm sure I'm going to be calling a lot of Oregon games this year. So if y'all have any Taylor Swift related puns or jokes for me, please send them because I'm not well versed in that culture. Maybe to hit up some people I know, and they might help me out on that one. But Nico,
I heard the tickets for the Oregon games have gone up quite significantly. There's a lot of preteens that are buying tickets, so
I bet.
We'll see how it goes.
So a game of 7 on that run.
Terrible.
Okay, Electric's not a Swiftie. Quick throw to the slant! Oh, man. That would have spelled chaos and disaster for Tennessee. But they're lucky to watch that one fall to the ground. Here comes 3rd and 3. That wide stack formation. And they will run inside zone, and he fights for it, doesn't get it. I mean, 4th and inches. Yeah, I just agree. I agree wholeheartedly. You cannot keep punting this football back to Oregon if you want to win this game. So we'll see who's got the bigger muscles up front. Here, 4th and inches. Nico QB sneak, and it's stopped. Yeah, I mean, the meta 4th and inches play, right? QB sneak. The league has found a way, right? They like to roll a linebacker down in the nose guard spot, crowd that center, and usually it works. I know Electric and Kansas State actually mastered that technique first, but you gotta. Turns out now on 4th and inches this season, I think you're gonna have to see some more creative play calling to pick that up as we will head to the second quarter. And I'll throw it down to Electric. Actually, Electric, talk to me about that defense on QB sneak and some of the play calling you can use on offense to try to get around to get those inches.
I mean that right there. Let's wait until after this play. But there we go. Those incomplete pass on a very open man. But anyway, yeah, like you said on that defensive play, that's the usual, stealing plays from Kansas State right there with the putting the linebacker down right where you got the nose tackles in. I mean, that's as simple as that to be able to stop the QB sneak. So just expect more shotgun and more pistol when it comes to them type plays.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh, I know you're sick at your stomach if you're McCard.
You read it perfectly,
the defensive end reads it like a book, like a novel, but the throw goes right by him, and Oregon gets the first down. So Dime's going to send McLean in motion here outright. Step back to throw, going to cross over the middle. Big hit, but he hangs on for a gain of 7. 2nd and 3. Tennessee crowd trying to still will their Vols to something positive, but Crowd's getting less and less loud as the game goes on. McLean going to send going motion once again. Got the crosser again. First and goal.
That was one of those where the crowd noise, you can't audible and you get stuck in the same play, but it worked out.
Yeah. So here comes Daquan Dimes. Once again, the RPO. Casper making his first catch of the year, but it will not go anywhere. John Slaughter, the Mississippi native, in on the stop. So second and goal. Ball's on the 9. And Dimes going to get the bubble screen. That is McLean again, I think, on the gain of 5. So third and goal from the 4 for this Oregon offense. Here the sun is shining bright down on the Oregon Duck. He's trying to will his team into the end zone here. So they're going to motion once again. That's McLean in the backfield. Will they give it to him? Yes, they will. And he's got open spaces. Touchdown, Oregon. Second touchdown on that play from McLean. And they're an extra point away from going up 21-0, which they will. So I'll go down to Pablo here. Pablo, you're very familiar with this scenario. You got a big lead on the road. How do you avoid, for better lack of terminology, pulling a Louisville and choking the game?
You got to continue to be aggressive on defense. Don't change up and start sitting back, trying to keep them in front. You got to keep being aggressive, playing your style. Just like I said for McCord, don't steer away from your game plan.
Yeah. One-on-one coverage. Nico, man. Another underthrow. Devon Jackson with the pick. And I think that you'll start to see some of the Oregon fans tweeting out belt at this point in time as Nico has another underthrow there. If what can go wrong has gone wrong so far.
Yeah, he had him, man. I mean, it's just there's been a couple of those where he's had the guy who's just underthrown, and it's just that's what happens sometimes when the quarterback gets cold. He'll just miss a couple like that.
Yeah. So another man in motion here. He's going deep, and he's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Oregon. It is 27-0 here. So that national championship loss definitely did not sit well with the Oregon Ducks. They're coming for blood here early on the SEC on their turf. They're up 28-0.
Yeah, I think honestly it's we got to do a little bit more press man here, take away the RPOs, and it's going to leave you vulnerable like that on the back end. But I mean, that's the only way I think you're going to be able to slow down some of these passes that they're doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at this point in time, this is every drive becomes a must score, and every defensive possession becomes a must stop. I mean, you just have to do something to get back in this game. So Nico,
I think we got to get a couple first down years. We got to get some rhythm going, just like that. Big gap up the middle.
Peyton Lewis, as I hate to draw comparisons to an Alabama player, especially considering Tennessee and Alabama do not get along, but kind of reminds me of Najee Harris with just the jersey number, the hairstyle, and the way he runs the ball. So powerful, much like Najee in college. So 2nd and 6, Nick are going to take to the air again. Going to scramble cross body to the running back. That's a good throw. Breaking some tackles down at midfield now. So here comes Tennessee once again lining up in this super wide handoff up the middle. Going to go for a gain of 1. So that has been Tennessee's bread and butter run play ever since the start of the dynasty, has been spread them out wide, make them cover the receivers on the sidelines, and then run inside zone, and the box is wide open. Well, with Oregon, the whole defense is so fast, so even if they are lined up on the outside, as Nico's going to scramble for a first down and more, Nico going to get pulled down at the 26, but even if you do get them spread out wide, Oregon's got the speed to get there. So Oregon going to shift their defense outright. Nico, quick throw to the running back and hang on. We'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. So Tennessee desperately needing something to try to get some momentum back on their side here on 2nd and 8. We see handoff up the middle to Lewis. Loss of 1, 3rd and 9. Upcoming for the Vols.
Yeah, I'd look for some comeback routes or curls. Like I think you've had some of those open. I don't know if that's in Tennessee's playbook or not, but that'd be something I'd look for.
Well, Nico going to look to scramble here. Can he get the edge? He does. First down, Vols. Now in goal to go down on the 9-yard line. So we'll see if they can get in the end zone here. 1:19 left in the first half. Nico going to hand off to Lewis. Nothing doing. Loss of 2. The inside zone run, the concept has been shut down by this Oregon defensive front. So we shall see. Tennessee going to have to get a little more creative than that to run the ball. Nico going to run the ball himself, going nowhere. So now you've been pushed back 6 yards, and you got 3rd and goal. And they will come out in 5 wide, which is usually never a great idea. And goal to go, but here it's acceptable as clock will tick now. 16 seconds left. Nico going to have to run again, and there's going to be nothing doing. So Oregon going to call their last timeout. Tennessee will definitely come out into field goal range, and once again, this number, the score that I really don't like staring at, is going to come back to haunt me again as the kick is up. The kick is good. Hey, yes, Electric. 28-3 is your score now, and like I said in the Miami game, we know how frugal these leads can be. Me from personal experience. So we'll see if Tennessee can cook a comeback like Brady, if you will.
Not sure Brady is on that Tennessee sideline, to be honest with you.
I don't know what Brady is in. I hear he's still hanging out with Dude Perfect right there near headquarters. So Dimes will step back to throw. Actually, he will run it. Clock will expire on the half, and he will get pulled down after a game of 9. So halftime in Tennessee, a much more gloomy look on Neyland Stadium than kickoff. We'll go down to Electric. Electric, what's the vibes? Did you talk to anybody on the Oregon sideline?
I heard a lot of boss man D'Lo on that sideline saying some crazy words we will not be saying on the stream, but we will be saying that Danny Dimes, I don't know why I just called him that, but Dimes, doing pretty good. They're all singing, dancing, having fun. Definitely a social media team right here, as you see them. They was definitely dancing and having fun on that sideline.
Yeah, so, well, speak of it, I call Electric's name, and he pops up on the field. Faison Bamba gets involved in the game. Gonna get a game 3. Dimes gonna roll wide open. That's just a level of chemistry that you rarely see from your freshman QBs as he hits him, McCoy down the field, and now they are within striking distance again. So I'll go to the contrary. Pablo, what are the vibes on Tennessee's sideline? Are they getting back in this game?
It's down over there. Oregon's threatening to go up 35-3 right here. So the sideline is down, upset. But the season's not over for the loss here.
I got a question. I got a question for you, Pablo, down there.
What's up?
Have you seen Morgan Wallen down there throwing any chairs around or anything, trying to get the team fired up?
Well, he's not here now. He had.
He left. Okay.
Oh, well, I mean, speaking of throwing something.
He got escorted.
Well, they're going to escort this ball into the end zone. So some life for the Vols here.
He might have to come back in.
He's not allowed.
He might have to.
He's in jail.
He's not allowed. Okay.
Good job right there, Hal State. Good
Well, we know he's certainly not in Oxford, as that whole debacle was really funny. As the extra point is up, the extra point is good. So Tennessee draws closer now, 28-10. But, we have...
Just got to chip away.
Yeah, I think the turnovers, Oregon's clearly not showing any signs of doing any clock management. So, I mean, you got to get them while they're here, while they're trying to sling it around, trying to get some more points on the board. Force mistakes, force turnovers, get back in the game.
I'd come after him, man. I'd come after him if he hits one down the field. So what? We got to get a quick stop, get the ball back.
Well, they're going to quick throw to their tight end Casper, going to make the play. He gets first down after a gain of 14. So like we said, don't go anywhere after this one because we'll head to Starkville for what has been dubbed by the streets as the big brother of their state bowl as Kansas takes on Mississippi State in the final
Dang.
leg of the triple header. So that RPO is going nowhere after a loss of 3. But, speaking of the states, it was almost kind of poetic because in week 0 we saw the little brother of their state bowl as Kansas State demolished Ole Miss. So now we get the Big Brother Bowl. So I'm sure a lot of people are excited to see that game.
Side suck.
So, question from the sideline.
Yeah.
Who? You said the streets said this.
The streets.
That's what you said. Did you not? Did you
Yeah.
not say the streets said that it was the
Streets?
Big Brother Bowl?
Yeah.
Everybody knows
tell
it.
me where
media outlets across the country, AP, right, CBS, ESPN,
Why not let it
pundits.
fly?
Why not let it fly? Like KU said, Oregon gets it back, and now they are up 34-10, barring the extra point. But, just some media coverage around the country. Some outlets, particularly Barstool, Brandon Walker's been pushing for it really hard. So,
makes sense.
I mean, if that's the narrative we're living by, Kansas, Mississippi State, it'll drum up some interest for the final leg of the triple header we've had here today. This kickoff will not be taken out, and Tennessee will get it to 25.
Yeah. Hopefully we can have a closer game for the finale. You'd like to think that Mississippi State can hang with Kansas, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so Nico gonna run away, gonna try to throw cross body, nice throw, nice catch. So now the Tennessee offense is clicking here on the first play of the half for them. So here comes Nico once again. And handoff will go to Peyton Lewis, and he will be stopped right at the line for a gain of nothing. Well, he gets back to the line of scrimmage at least. So 2nd and 10 for the Vols. So Nico dropping back to throw here. Nico going for the corner, and it was read perfectly. Like a book, like a novel.
That's not red. That's just 99 speed on a linebacker. There's not much you can do.
Braden Platt making the tackle, the Washington native, the young sophomore. Like I said, this Oregon team has talent from on every position of the field, and a lot of it's very young talent. We've seen the freshman quarterback.
Wow.
Almost gets intercepted there. So, gain of 4 as Coach McCard
Not
making
really
his
sure.
thoughts known. We know he's not one to shy away from showing emotion to the media as the running back will go in motion here. Dime's going to scramble out. He will tuck and run, gets the first down, tiptoeing out of bounds at the 47.
Gotta wonder, was that a late hit? It's close.
I mean, I think that the refs might have needed some extra protection if they would have called that getting out of Knoxville tonight. So they choose their lives. And the throw, 28 just overcooks the route. Touchdown, Oregon. And when it rains,
Running up score
it
allegations.
pours. Just go allegations.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I honestly, Tennessee's had at least 3 or 4 times this game they could have picked one off that they had covered. He just missed it by a little bit. So, but all of them have ended up in big plays for Oregon.
Oregon, yeah. We saw roughing the kicker there go against Tennessee. So like we said, there is no love lost between these two teams. Kind of a weird rivalry if you look at geography on opposite sides of the country. But like we said, this is the 3rd meeting in 3 years between these teams. No love lost between the Vols and the Ducks, as that's going to go for a game or 2.
You gotta wonder at this point too. Like, we're week 1. Do we do we get this running back out of the game? Like, he's taken some shots today. Um,
Yeah.
might be something to consider at some point.
Well, they're gonna
Takes
say
another
screw
one.
KU's recommendation. We're gonna throw it right to him. So
I
third and
believe
one.
CTE could be something to monitor.
Yeah. Watch Antonio Brown's Twitter for alerts on that. So third and one. Might see some pressure for Oregon. There it is. And the quarterback takes a hit. So fourth and one. Matayo Ugalele once again. That's just a fun name to say.
I mean, they're still coming after him. I mean, they've been blitzing on probably 65, 70% of plays, it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, it is the third quarter. So, I mean, there's no need to slow down just yet, I don't think. But fourth and one, inside zone, that's actually going to get the yard. So first down for the Vols, and that will probably take us to the end of the third. Yes, it will. So I'll go down to Electric for the final time here today in the game. Talk to me about the season ahead of the Oregon Ducks. You know, statement. We're looking to shaping up to be a statement win if they're able to hang on today. Talk to me about the rest of the schedule. Do you know what the outlook is as Oregon tries to go win their third straight Big Ten championship?
Yeah, I was about to, scroll down and glad that you said it. So after this game of Tennessee, they have a hard schedule, ahead of them. They have to, after that sack, they have to go down and they have to play at Georgia, and then they have to play at Notre Dame, at Mississippi State, at Ohio State. And they play at home versus Wisconsin. That's the first user they play against at home. Penn State, they play there. They play in the Beaver Stadium, and they play at home against Nebraska and
Mm,
away again. So against Washington. So I mean, you just heard me there with all those games they play at and where they play.
yeah,
So I mean, with this list, that's a lot of users right there, and that's basically filling up your whole board and spreading out recruits and everything might be a little difficult, but I mean, their hardest game, their hardest user out of everybody in this list would be Tennessee and Georgia, and I think that's it.
hmm,
With how this team been playing, they're right now up by a lot versus Tennessee, so you can already scratch this game off, and then you can go ahead and look at
stick 'em
Georgia.
hard.
That game is going to mean a lot, and let's just let's just hope for a good one over there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, they've played Tennessee, you get Georgia, you get Mississippi State. Oregon
Only
definitely
Braden
took it
Shy.
pers. Oregon definitely took it personal, losing to the SEC last year. They won all the smoke from the Southeastern Conference. But I'll go down to Pablo. Tennessee probably going to take the loss here. What's the outlook for the rest of the year?
Well, this game, you definitely wanted to win it, but I don't think it's the end of the world. You're going into the SEC. It's a tough conference, and you have a tough schedule. So I think you've got 2 more losses you can afford to have if you're looking for a playoff appearance. So
No.
I think your goal, if you want to make the playoffs, is going to be to squeak out 9-3 to the SEC schedule.
Yeah, I mean that's where Hail State's Digest had them in the preseason. They were 9-3. So Oregon will send out the punt team for 4th and 20. But tough one here today for the Vols fans to swallow, as the punt will be fair caught at the 13 with 3:02 left in the game.
Yeah, I was gonna make a statement right before you went down to the sidelines. To me, the MVP of this game has been the Oregon secondary. They've played a lot of man coverage, and some of these guys are running the routes better than the Tennessee receivers are running the routes. Like, they're almost in front of all of them. They've left nothing. It's just been pure blanket coverage from the Oregon secondary, and even when he's gotten a few shots to take down the field, I mean, they've been all over him. So I'd give a lot of credit to the secondary coach and all the work they put in on the off season to get these guys ready to play.
Yeah. So we will see Tennessee try to close this game out, and Nico just overthrows him So, and then not the showing you wanted to see from Nico here today in his, well, second game of the year. Tennessee did get a 69-6 win over an FCS school in week 0 as they'll go deep again and intercept it again. So, that's just
Didn't
not
really
what you
come back
wanted to
to
see.
fight for the ball.
Yeah. Roderick Pleasant in this time on the interception. I don't know how many picks Nico's thrown today, but I'm sure it will not be a fun stat sheet to look at for the Tennessee offensive coordinator after this game, or the defensive coordinator. Just the whole staff not going to enjoy film on Monday of this one.
I almost think it's just one of those games you just sort of throw the tape away, honestly. I think you learn what you did wrong, and everybody at this point in the season is still trying to get figure out the concepts that work best with their personnel and all those sorts of things. So it's tough early in the season. Some teams are right on it. Some teams it takes a little bit to figure out. So it's certainly not a done season yet for Tennessee, but certainly a lot of things they got to work on.
No, yeah, and I was going to say that about Miami last game too. They're still young. It's a very young season. So don't write off Miami. Don't write off Tennessee. I'm sure that they will get better as the year progresses. But as far as this one goes, one more knee, and I think that will wrap this one up with a nice yellow and green bow on it. Well, actually, they're going to take one more knee, I think, unless their game runs it down for them. Now, one more knee, and that will seal it here. So, DeQuavion Dimes picks up a 42-10 win in his debut with this Oregon Duck offense. And on the other side, Nico has a lot of improvements if he wants to get to where he was projected to be in the preseason. So they'll take one last knee here, and that one will end the game. Final score, Oregon 42, Tennessee 10. We'll go down to Coach Mayhem on the sidelines. So, Mayhem, impressive week 1 victory here on the road in SEC country. Talk to me about Dimes, the freshman stepping in, throwing 5 touchdowns, and the defense forcing a lot of turnovers today.
Yeah, I think we've got a really good defense. I think we showed that today. I think he's going to be a special player. We're excited to have him grow. One wrong button press away from really, I think, what would have been a perfect game. But I think we saw the arm strength. We saw the athleticism. Definitely could do a lot of things better from this game, but obviously a lot to take away from that's going to be positive.
Yeah. All right. Anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, it looked like the RPOs were working great for you, especially early in the game. Just talk about the way you were able to sort of outflank the defense and get a lot of easy completions and yards.
Yeah, I think we'll have a really strong run game when we need it. It just felt like against Tennessee, I felt like we could just kind of take advantage of the edges a little bit, and then just for having a young quarterback too, just nice to get him some quick, easy throws and let some guys make some plays after the fact. So I think that was a lot of it. I don't know if we'll really do that a lot more, but certainly worked today.
Yeah. All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, I wanted to ask him a question about what is going forward with this offense, hitting later on down the season with all the users you have to play.
Gonna have to keep evolving. Definitely can't do the same thing twice. I think this is gonna be the year where we'll probably play a lot of games, where there will be a lot of tape out. So we'll run a different playbook next week. We'll run a different playbook the week after, and we'll do what works. And not really worried about who I'm playing. It sucks that all the games are on the road, but I don't make the decisions, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just have a question about that, actually. You said you're, each game you're running a different playbook. Like, does that take like a lot of like practice and stuff to be able to like figure out the go-to plays on each of these, or like do you come into a game with just a fresh playbook and you're sort of like a fish out of water looking for the plays in game?
I mean, generally there will be a little bit of carryover. Like I'll have some familiarity. I've played the game long enough, like after 20-something games, where I'll test stuff out against the CPU when I play the CPU, and so I kind of know generally what I want. But I mean, there's definitely an aspect when you're changing the playbook every week of like you don't know exactly how to scheme everything. I think that I saw a lot of that in this game. I felt like I really didn't get into a good spot where we could run the ball, but I think that there will be some similar things. I mean, whether it just be like RPOs or deep shots down the field or, creating space. So there's some similarity. It's definitely different every time. Just takes a minute to scroll through all the formations at the beginning of the game and then just kind of go from there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I do have one last question. Obviously, with a win like this, I asked the Florida coach this too, but I'll ask it again for the Oregon folks in the stands. Do they need to be looking on the travel websites, booking some hotels, booking some flights for late January? Because, like we said, the price is only going to go up as we get closer.
Yeah, we're not worried about that right now. We're worried about, I think we're playing Georgia next week. We'll worry about putting a win up there, and then we'll kind of go week by week. I mean, our fans have known where to be at the end of the year. It's been pretty consistent. So I think that they'll be there. And last thing, just before you switch it over, I just want to say, great game to Tennessee. I love the Tennessee coach. Nothing personal, just obviously it was my day and not his day, and but no hard feelings or anything. Just got a lot of respect for him, and can't say that about a lot of other people in the league. So just shout out to him and everything he's doing. He's got a really good team. So.
Well, we will certainly see some new rivalry spark with this Oregon team. A lot of users on the schedule for the first time. We shall see as their season goes on, but we will flip it over to Coach McCard. Tough loss here today. How do you bounce back off of this one and get this team ready for SEC play?
Nah, I don't know. That'll be the best defense I face all year, so I'm really interested to see how next couple weeks goes, because I don't think they'll have 7 star players on their defense.
Yeah. All right. Is anyone else?
Yeah. McCart, it seemed like, we obviously know you really like to run the ball, and especially like early downs, try to get yourself in second and third and manageable, but it seemed like they were taking it away pretty good. Did you have any sort of thought of trying to catch them off guard, throw a pass, or they were playing a lot of man coverage too? Like, was there any sort of other schemes that you wanted to try to throw in there to try to beat some of those?
I tried some quick routes and stuff, but there's just too much speed at the linebackers, and the safeties and corners would just bite way too hard and really to do anything. There's just too much speed to really do anything to get those, like you said, second and manageable stuff either way, from short passes to running the football like I'd like to. It was just too much speed to really do anything. Yeah. And I heard you in the broadcast. You said it, Beth. Their corners are running my wide receiver routes better than my wide receivers were.
I know, dude. Like, I was watching it, and every time they throw out man coverage, I was like, there is nowhere to throw this ball, because the Oregon defenders are ahead of the Tennessee receivers. So, yeah, that was just a tough one. And like you said, you're not going to face many other defensive secondaries like this one. So, long season, and who do you got up next on the schedule usually-wise?
At Kansas State. And I think we will be running it back to going blackout drunk like we was in the playoffs. I think we got to run it back.
There we go.
Well, there's not a lot of guys in this league that are scary to line up on the opposite side of the ball than a blackout drunk McCard. So we will certainly look to see that game next week. But anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, man, I do. I was gonna talk about that. I was going to say, how do you feel about the upcoming matchup against Kansas State after what they did to Ole Miss?
Got to limit Dylan Edwards. You got to find a way to limit him and put the hands in make the QB make the plays and make life tough for Dylan Edwards somehow, some way. And I want to make it a shootout. Because it's going to be hard.